I'm Laura Stauffer. I teach American Sign Language at Elkhart Central. Technology has let me use class time more for instruction and practice, and then my students are able to videotape themselves signing, and I grade that outside of class time so they have more interaction during the class period.
Students in this example are using a teacher-created template to practice their vocabulary words, but get to use some creativity in how they create their sentences. In this example, students have created a fictional cooking show to explain how to make an Oreo pie with all of the information presented in sign language. In both of these examples, the students and teachers can use the videos to provide explicit feedback on their signing.
It helps me to differentiate better because with Mastery Paths in Canvas, depending on how kids do on a quiz, it can take them to different assignments, depending on how well that they know the material. It helps them if they don't know something, then they have to go back and review it before we're going to move on.
In biology, students can use two different kinds of animations to demonstrate their understanding of challenging concepts like meiosis, diffusion, and muscle contraction. By creating these animations and accompanying audio descriptions, students turn complex and abstract biological processes into linear stories.
Choline then opens ligand-gated sodium channels, which allow sodium to enter the cell.
The flexibility of using the different apps and being able to explore concepts that you don't generally get to do in a traditional fashion.
Students are using video, screen recording, and stop-motion videos in a variety of ways to help deepen student learning. In math, students are using a graphing calculator app called Desmos with a video creation app called Explain Everything to demonstrate their understanding.
6. And then you would divide each side and get x equals 420.
So this is sine, and so this is the busy graph of sine.
Explain Everything, Desmos, and creating videos all help the students engage with the material on a deeper level as they present their ideas. I, as the teacher, then hear them describe their learning and processes used as they solve the problems. Learning to present their ideas adds to a deeper understanding of the material, and the students learn from each other that way as well.
And then 3x made it to where it goes 3 times before it reaches 360 every time.
Technology really helps our students because with the iPads they are able to access most of the material that they receive in class. They use a lot of Google Translate, and though it's not perfect, it really helps them understand the background of what they're supposed to be learning. They can access videos that help them really see what the material is. They can learn about different vocabulary. The iPads really help them a lot, and we try and teach them how to use them as a tool to help them better understand what their teacher is trying to explain to them.
The really nice thing that technology has done, having access to the iPads for our kids, is that we can have little independent research projects day to day that we don't have to make plans to go to a computer lab or anything. Our kids can pull out their iPads right to them and start doing their work, looking up definitions or specific people, and that makes it a lot easier and quicker.
Economics is not a discipline that is usually characterized by creativity. However, I find that students do learn most effectively when they're being creative. Having iPads in a one-to-one setting, as well as professional development in how to best utilize this technology, has been transformative in my classroom. Students are moving up Bloom's taxonomy and using skills like applying, analyzing, evaluating, or creating. These higher order skills deepen understanding, strengthen problem-solving abilities, and keep students actively engaged with the content. The students pictured here are using Stop Motion Studio to illustrate how and why demand and supply curves shift. Whereas in the past, students may have answered a question about a graph, this activity forces them to design a scenario that causes a curve shift, then illustrate that curve shift in a creative way. When assessing their work, it's easy for me as a teacher to see whether or not they've mastered this material. In addition, it's easy to individualize for students as they are each working off of their own set of abilities and ideas. Finally, while students may choose to work alone, this is also a great opportunity for students to practice those collaboration skills that are so critical in our 21st century economy.
As demonstrated by our students and teachers, it's easy to see what makes our one-to-one program different. Students and teachers are using the power of creating to help students remember, understand, apply, analyze, and evaluate.